Ladies and gentlemen, super excited to have you here. I'm inviting you to one event for everything you need to know on how to succeed with Go High Level. This is an online event. That's a 3-day mega webinar on December 3rd, December 4th, December 5th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The GHL Engine Summit. This event is going to be breaking down the strategies on how to market to your Go High Level business, how to sell to customers, how to onboard customers, how to retain subscribers, and how to scale with virtual assistants. And I have the number one company that will help Go High Level agencies grow and scale, which is the CEO of RepStack, Azhar Siddiqui. Azhar, super excited to have you here. What are you going to be sharing with us at the GHL Engine Summit, the 3-day mega webinar?
Man, I'm really excited for this big, amazing party you're throwing for all the GHLers. Andy, congratulations. And this is not your first rodeo, so I'm really excited about this. And I think the biggest thing that I would want to share is your next agency or GHL SaaS business hire, because we're always confused, right? Like as service businesses, one of the biggest items on our payroll on our P&Ls is always going to be payroll. So human manpower is going to be, a friend of mine. He runs a $5 to $6 million a year marketing agency run on GHL, obviously. And he was speaking in Miami in front of other agency owners, and he asked like raise, and there was like 200 other SaaS and GHL run marketing agencies in that room, and he asked them to raise your hands uh, if payroll is the biggest expense on their P&L. And guess how many people raised their hands? Pretty much everyone.
Yeah, 99%. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we have to manage, right? Like we have these amazing tools. We have GHL. We have, we cut down our costs there. But eventually, as you start scaling, you're going to need to hire people. And Andy, I know you have an amazing team based out of the U.S. and Philippines, and we have similar examples to successful GHL entrepreneurs like Andy, who are running these amazing hybrid teams. And for the people from looking outside in, it feels like these companies have it all figured out. But guess what? They don't. It's been a lot of trial and error. It's been a lot of kissing a lot of frogs before us finding our long term players doing the long term game with us, right? Those are the type of people we want. So my topic is your next agency hire, and we're gonna, number one thing that I'm gonna do with you guys is I'm gonna talk about the buyback loop, so that, and do a lifetime energy audit for you guys, so that number one, you can, we want to give you the green pass. If you qualify, you should be able to hire people, right? A lot of us kind of go into this grind phase, say that, and I've seen those people, man, like people who scale their agencies to 7 figures and above without hiring any employees, or like bare minimum employees. And I can see their faces, like, they were not having fun anymore at that point, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah, you proved the point, got it. But what we want to do is that we want to give you that pass way early, that hey, you have this green card, now you're good, you can hire. And so before we do that, we want to do a buyback loop, so that we can figure out that, hey, what's the amount of people that you can afford, what's the hourly rate. Just to give you a quick example, if your hourly, and there's a formula for that, but if your hourly rate comes out to around $120 or $150 an hour, you can easily hire a person with at $30 an hour or $35 an hour. So so if you're making at least $150, you can easily hire a person over $20 an hour easily, right? So I'm going to walk you through that math, how it's going to make sense. And if you're making more than that, definitely. And then also a time energy audit. We want to spend time uh, on things that are generating more revenue, like $200 $500 an hour activities, and not the 10 and 20 and $30 activities. So we're going to I'll give you the formula to how to do a proper time and energy audit for yourself, so that now like, hey, if I'm going to bring in someone, which roles do I bring them in? Those are the roles that are taking up your time, which do not pay a lot, but you have to do, like email management, content generation, webinar chopping up of the webinar videos and turning them into media buying campaigns and so on and on, right? So we can outsource all of that stuff, and I'll give you the formula for that. And the best part that we want to talk about is the face team growth chart. This is going to be a formula based on how much revenue you're making right now, and for the most part it will work with amazingly for GHL run agencies and SaaS businesses. So the first area where you can hire people, if once you hit the 20 to $35,000 a month revenue mark, guess what? You can hire a team of 2 to 4 people at this time, and you have a budget of $5 to $7,000, right? If you're making $60 to $83,000 a month, now your team size can go up to 6 to 8, and you can spend $20 to $35,000 of that money in payroll, right? So we want to do a face team growth chart. We don't just like we
And
want
you'll
to
be breaking
earn.
this down at the GHL Engine Summit.
I will break the hell out of this thing, man. And I'm gonna make sure that you guys are like ready to go with this stuff. And I'll let you guys, and once I'm done with my chat, you'll also have all these tools and things like that. So you can basically do a year-end audit, be prepared for the new year on what team members you're going to bring in January, February, March, April, and so on and on. And it's going to be a beautiful thing, because this is always our kryptonite, Andy. Like payroll, we know like the fastest way growing is going to be hiring more people, but when we actually go about doing that, we don't know which roles to hire, we don't know where to hire from, we don't know how much we're going to pay them, we don't know like,
Mm.
can I hire 10 people, or like, and before we know it, payroll's like out of control, and most of our margins are going out to paying people, and now you're stuck. You're probably even going to be doing more work. So I do not want you to get into the same situation as I've seen myself get into when I was running my own agency. And then I see so many other people, but there's so many more examples, people like Andy, people like Josh Nelson, that I'm going to share those anecdotes with you guys, how these guys have done it. They're still amazingly profitable, and we'll give you all of those numbers and
Consistency,
markers.
man. If for the people who are genuinely interested in joining us at this event, maybe they're on the landing page, what do you have to say to that person who's like, man, should I actually go to this event? What do you have to say to that person if you were to break that down in a sentence or two?
I think if you're like really serious about getting your SaaS business off the ground this year, this is the place where you want to spend some time. And for the people who are not, they're still on the fence, uh, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think like this is for really serious people. If you're that serious person who's taking your life seriously in the new year, who's ready to build out a serious 6 figure, 7 figure business in 2026, spend some time with us between December 3rd and December 5. I think you owe it to yourself. If you're convinced that there's a better way out there, it's going to be with this group of people. And I see the panel right here, right, Andy? Like, these are like strong people. These guys are like, they're making 7 figures. Some of them are 8 figure entrepreneurs over here who have multiple 7 8 figure businesses, and they're just rinsing and repeating in some of their businesses. Just formula that they've learned from this group, and they're just doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
So for the person who's out on the fence, hey, jump in if you're really, really serious about changing your life, because it's changed my life over the last 5 years since I've been involved with GHL and doing everything, meeting all these great people. And yeah, so
Let's do it.
let's make it happen.
GHL Engine Summit or GHLEngine.com/summit 3-day mega webinar from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll have Azhar Siddiqui presenting there on his strategies on how to really maximize your staff and build a remote agency. So this is one event for everything you need to know on how to succeed with Go High Level. It's a 3-day event, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's only $3 for a ticket, ladies and gentlemen. $3. So that's GHLEngine.com/summit to see all three, or over the course of all the 3 days, you'll see over 20 speakers speak and share with you their strategies and their processes. We will see you there at the GHL Engine Summit taking place next week. I'll see you there, ladies and gentlemen.
See you there.